BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
You're listening to Tuesday's episode of The Archers from BBC Radio 4.
You're home early, Jazza?
Aye, first time for a week, and just as well, 'cause
I was about to make a cup of tea. Would you like one?
no thanks.
Or a coffee?
I'm alright.
There may be an Eccles cake to go with it.
Oh, Prof, you've not bought me an Eccles cake.
Why not? I was in the tea room anyway.
You shouldn't have.
Oh, don't tell me you're going off them.
Of course no, but you've already said sorry about the rent thing loads of times.
I should have shown more trust in you.
It was me who was out of order.
You were simply being kind.
Honest, you can stop being so nice to me in a few minutes. Have a big favour to ask first.
Fire away.
Thing is, the boiler at number 6 is packed up.
The Horrobins boiler?
Aye, it's been on life support the past week. Finally gave up the ghost this afternoon.
Well, can't they get someone to fix it?
It's past fixing. I've had a crack, so has Neil.
Well, then the landlord should see to it.
Aye, but their housing association's stretched to Brecon. Staff half everywhere. They're very sorry, but they can't get somebody out for at least another couple of days.
We've a spare halogen heater.
That's no use, Prof. They've no hot water and the house is an icebox. You wouldn't leave a dug in there.
So what are you suggesting?
I know it's a big ask, but how would you feel about Tracy and Chelsea staying here the night?
Well, it's not very practical.
We'd manage.
Look, there's nothing to stop Tracy going in with you. But we've nowhere to put Chelsea. The music room is completely unsuitable.
Aye, but the sofa in here folds doing fine.
It's very uncomfortable.
Chelsea could sleep on a washing line. It's only the one night, too, at worst.
And there's really no alternative?
Aye, there is. Me and Neil tossed a coin to see who gets Bert, Gary and Brad. He lost, but if you want to switch...
No, thank you. I'm sure we can accommodate a little extra company.
Are you all right with that, Prof?
No nobis solum nati sumus, etc.
Is that one of your Roman pals again?
From Cicero on duties. We are not just born for ourselves. Our country and our friends also have a share in us.
Good man. I'm buying Cicero a pint next time I see him.
You can tell Tracy and Chelsea we'll be delighted to have them here this evening.
That's brilliant, Prof, because I think that's them dragging their cases across the green just now.
You're still out here.
Oh, I haven't been here the whole time since you left.
Well, I was going to say, it's starting to get quite chilly.
Well, I've been to Mum and back since then. And I thought I'd do one little job in the garden before settling down.
You're not throwing the snowdrops out, are you, Jenny?
No, I'm dividing and replanting. How did you get on with Kevin?
Oh, well, he certainly knows his stuff.
Mum said he's an even better solicitor than his father was.
Well, he's very clear on the financial implications of Alice's divorce to Home Farm.
Oh, do you know what else that Mum said to me, Brian?
No.
Well, Kate's applying to take over Phoebe's job at Rewilding Ambridge.
What?
I know.
What, she's going to close down Spiritual Home?
No, she thinks she can do the two jobs together.
I'll believe that when I see it.
She seems convinced she can do it. And the odd thing is, Mum's encouraging her.
Oh, why on earth is she doing that?
Well, she's very impressed by Kate's enthusiasm. Thinks it could be the making of her. And of Rewilding Ambridge.
Well, let's just hope it's one of Kate's passing fancies.
Oh, she's set up a meeting with Rex tomorrow.
Oh, Lord. The day's just getting better and better.
So, what did Kevin say about the divorce then?
He was quite blunt. It's going to do Home Farm serious financial damage unless we can persuade Chris to play nicely.
Because of his work hours, Jazza usually has first call on the shower.
Don't worry, girls. I'm never in there long.
Then it'd be helpful if you left the bathroom free for Alistair afterwards.
Of course.
Most days he's in there from, say, 7:05 to 7:20. Perhaps a little earlier if he has any distance to travel.
That's no problem, is it?
Don't bother me at all, Mum. I won't be awake.
It's so kind of you letting us stay here, Jim.
Aye.
Not at all, Tracy. I'm sure if we stick to a few simple rules, we'll all get along perfectly well.
We'll be as quiet as mice, won't we, Chelsea?
Now, that covers the main bathroom. Before we move on to other arrangements, any questions so far?
I think we're all right.
Where's your proper telly?
A proper television?
This is it, Hen.
You're joking me.
Chelsea.
Well, I thought, a house this big, you'd have something massive. That's a way smaller screen than ours.
It's always seemed perfectly adequate to me.
We soon get used to it.
Oh, yeah, it's just... If you didn't have so many books cluttering up the place, you could hang something decent on the wall. Make this a cinema room.
What's it matter, Chelsea? We're only going to be here 2 or 3 nights.
I thought it was 2 nights at most.
That's our current best guess, Prof.
Right. Try and get used to it.
Good. Well, the other thing I'd like you to be aware of, Chelsea, the living room's obviously a communal area. So perhaps while Alistair's showering tomorrow, you would be good enough to fold up the sofa and clear the bedding.
At 7:05.
Well, let's say have the room presentable for 7:30, so everyone else can come in to use it.
I've got to be up and dressed for 7:30.
You can do that.
I'll literally be a zombie.
At least no a frozen zombie.
With communal use still in mind, Chelsea, I'd be grateful if you remembered to stow all your personal belongings away when you get up, so the rest of us won't be wading through detritus.
See, Chelsea? It just me likes a tidy house.
Well, it may sound a little harsh, but I'm afraid any discarded items will be left for collection in a pile beside the duck pond.
What? Like if I don't tidy up my PJs or stick them on the green?
Yes.
Oh, surely it works both ways, Brian. Chris's earnings must come into it as well.
Well, of course they do. Any final settlement will take full account of his business.
Well, he's got premises, but equipment and a book full of clients.
Yeah, well, even so, Jenny.
Well, it's got to be worth something.
Well, next to Alice's share of the home farm business, relatively minor is the term Kevin used.
Well, how much money does he think Christopher will be entitled to?
Well, it depends.
What do you mean?
Well, if Chris insists on knowing Alice's precise share of the business, all the farm's assets will have to be valued.
Well, isn't that inevitable?
I rather hope not, because the kind of figures we're talking for a professional valuation are absolutely eye-watering.
Oh,
And of course, the higher the valuation, the more we'll end up playing Chris in the end, unless we can come to a sensible arrangement amongst ourselves.
yeah, that'd be much better.
Quite. Well, that's why we're offering one of the cottages rent-free now. The more goodwill we generate, the better the chances of a reasonable outcome. We only want a fair and sensible settlement, so that Chris feels secure and Martha's looked after properly as she grows up. And hopefully we just get the court to rubber stamp it.
That's probably all Christopher wants.
Aye, no, that's what he said. But I'm afraid... Oh, I'm afraid of Alice pushing him in the opposite direction.
How?
She's still so unpredictable and full of guilt.
Well, yes.
I could just see her unintentionally persuading him he's a victim, convincing him to chisel every last penny out of us.
I don't think he'll be unreasonable.
Well, it's funny how often reasonable people do unreasonable things once they get to court.
Alice has got her first meeting with her solicitor tomorrow, hasn't she?
Yes, yeah, she's seeing someone called Rasheen Drinkwater. Annoyingly, she can't use Kevin. Conflict of interest or some such.
Anyway, let's hope this Rasheen can talk some sense into her.
Jim's never had a telly in the kitchen.
No, well, I've been here.
Well, what do you do when you're waiting for things to heat up?
I bring my laptop through.
Can't believe this place. Thought the bathroom was bad enough.
What's wrong with the bathroom, Chelsea?
Nothing. If you're Bear Grylls, probably seemed very nice to him.
Does that's okay?
There is literally no mirror in it.
There is a mirror.
That titchy scrap of glass. How am I meant to give life to my face in that?
Maybe ease off the makeup for a day or two.
Jazz, I literally can't show myself in college if my hair ain't done.
Oh, you'll be home before you know it.
Can't wait.
So let's try and keep everybody happy while you're here, eh? Try not to yawn if Alistair maunders on about health checks or if the prof starts banging on about dicky birds.
It's all right, Jazz.
And if he offers to play some of his music, climb out the window. Wagner makes your ears bleed.
Loosen up. I live with Grandad Bert. I'm used to daft old wrinklies.
Whoa, hang on a second there, Chelsea. Jim isn't he a daft old wrinkly like your granda Bert? He's doing you and your mum a great big favour here.
I know.
And that's because he's 100% a decent guy. And the kindest pal I've ever known. So show him some respect while you're here, you got that?
Thank you, but there's no need.
Just towards housekeeping. We want to pay our way.
You and Chelsea are our guests. We don't want any money.
That's so kind of you.
Besides, it's only for a very short period of time.
Yeah, I'll be at work for most of it. And Chelsea will tuck herself away doing her assignment on different types of air structure, so we won't be in the way.
I'm sure you won't.
I can't see us being here past Friday, at the very latest.
Oh, let's hope your boiler's ready long before then.
I don't know what we'd have done if you hadn't let us come here, Jim.
We could hardly let you freeze.
Oh, and to help everyone get along while we're here, I think you need to know that our Chelsea's got one or two quirky little habits.
Has she?
Like laughing in her sleep sometimes.
Well, that doesn't matter.
You haven't heard how loud she laughs. It's mostly like when she's unsettled. She might do it tonight.
I see.
Oh, and very, very occasionally she'll do like a little scream if she's having a nightmare.
Good heavens.
But there's no reason she'll have one tonight, is there?
No.
Except knowing about Jazz's tarantula. She's not very keen on Webster, but I promised it won't go anywhere near her.
No.
Unless it gets out of its tank, in which case it's me you'll hear screaming.
Jazza will have to check Webster's properly secured.
Oh, the spider will be fine. So don't you go lying awake all night waiting for a blood-curdling noise that's probably never going to happen.
I'll try not to.
Jazz finished showing you round, has he, Chelsea?
Yep.
What do you make of it then?
It's a very nice house.
It ain't bad, is it?
No, and I don't mind it not having a full-length mirror at all, because it's so lovely and booky.
Well, it suits us.
And it's very, very kind of you, Alistair and Jazzer to let us stay here till the weekend.
The weekend?
Defo a lot better than freezing to death at home. And it's very kind of you, it really is, so thank you very much, Jim.
Well, thank you for agreeing to be our guest.
Oh, what are you looking at me like that for, Mum? I can do nice for a few days, can't I?